You're listening to Hot Sauce Sports with Mo Cohen, Peeze and Terry Tam.
I now know that I'm on with a spy, depending on who's the captain of this ship. That's probably a bad thing if this podcast is supposed to go viral, isn't it?
Cordero Patterson like grabbing some shanks, gentleman here. And I quote, "I'm a grown man. I don't need nobody blank in my balls, my face."
In my teenage years, I'd get back from high school, I'd smash 2 pizza pockets. Carmelo Anthony never learned you can't live life just smashing pizza pockets.
Because he lost a double bet, what I did is I cut a jalapeno in half, and I filled it with hot sauce. So he's going to have to slurp this down.
Why you giving me a fucking banana, dude? I'm not eating a banana. I'd rather piss in my mouth than eat this.
Okay, so there we go. Stop stalling. Let's go. Let's go.
Now, here are your hosts, Mo, Terry, and Peeze.
We are in fact only 2 hosts. I am Peeze your host for Hot Sauce Sports. I am joined by Terry Tam, who is typing furiously. My guest is he's communicating with guest Junior Luke, who's going to be on the show later today.
I wasn't.
Nope. Well, I hope he'll be on the show later today then. Someone should contact him. 2 producers looking at each other. One's Eagle, one's Duke. They're doing nothing. Hi, guys.
What's up, guys? My mic's not working.
Your mic is working.
Oh, it's working, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
But you were telling us a story about shaving.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just asking, like, isn't it weird when people shave at the gym and
Yeah,
when they
it's
shave
bizarre.
their face
Why? It's
or
like-
their balls?
But that's what a health club essentially used to be.
But the thing too is, like, he was doing it over the sink.
His balls?
Yeah,
So he stood up
was
on
he
the
standing on the counter.
yeah. He was super tall, so he had like one. He was like kind of like his balls were over the sink, and he was shaving it.
That's too much.
But what I was saying is, I wasn't sure if it was the balls of the taint.
He just
How
showing
old
off.
was he?
Was he showing
How
off his
old was
nuts?
he? I didn't really stick around, Terry.
No, but like you can
But,
tell if he's
like, was he shaving gray hairs off his nuts?
by the size of his balls. You can tell how old he is.
Were they low?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Very
tough.
low?
It's tough because I never like looking downwards when I'm at the gym.
But he was tall, so it could have been upwards.
Right. But
Or
I did
eye level,
see his
perhaps.
butt
Did he
cheeks.
just put one leg up?
But it's weird because his ass was hairy. So
You figure once you committed, you might
Yeah.
as well go the
Well,
whole
maybe
way.
he just doesn't get his ass eaten.
see, like Eagle, there's no
Like that?
video on it right now, but he's literally showing us what it's like
I
to
wanna move the
shave.
camera.
Can you get that on Instagram Live? Can someone get that on Instagram Live, please?
Also, like when you do it, do you use a razor or do you use an electrical blade
When I do what?
when you shave it down?
My balls?
Yeah.
It depends. So usually I have my electrical blade.
One for the trim, one for the smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I have my electrical blade. Usually that's quick, ready
yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
But if I'm in the shower and I have time, I have a little razor.
Yeah.
And I'll go to town.
But look, you.
But when it comes
listen,
back in a couple days,
Yeah.
yeah,
it
you
comes
need.
out nice and thick.
There's a reason. There's a reason you have a lawnmower and you have the trimmer, right? Like
Yeah.
they do a different job. So you got your electric razors to clean it up, and
Yeah.
then for finesse, to have a really really smooth shave, you finish up with the blade.
I used to be so scared of shaving my dick because you have hairs that come out.
At the base,
Yeah.
Base.
slap at the base.
Well, you get like 1 or 2 halfway up kind of thing, right? I used to be so scared of shaving because I always knew that if you shaved your face, that it would come back thicker. So I was so scared that I would just have a dick full of hair, so I just would leave it alone. And then my brother's like, "No, you can shave it.
Yeah.
It's
great,
okay.
Great conversation with your brother.
Just continue shaving it."
So I would just lie.
Who
to-
else am I gonna have the conversation with?
I would just lie to my brother, be like, "No, if you do that, Santa Claus will punch you in the face."
So it's okay to shave
It
in a
was last
shower, but it's not okay to eat in a shower.
It's not okay. To eat
Well, I
in the
mean,
shower.
what are you eating?
Well, soup's
Depends,
fine.
man. This depends.
Well, you
Maybe
eat in the shower.
a sandwich or a granola
Like,
bar.
eating a soup in a shower is basically recycling.
It is.
But no, but the thing is, you shave in the shower because it rinses at the same time,
Yeah.
so there's no mess.
And it prevents razor bumps if it's warm.
That's it. There you go. And if you eat in the shower,
Yeah.
why?
Disgusting.
I'm a very clean eater, man. I have
No, but like
rarely
you're
have
gonna get
crumbs.
hot water in your mouth. It's gonna mix up with the
Nah,
granola
you just
bar.
gotta tilt the
Granola
sandwich
bar.
upwards.
Well, he said
That's
granola
literally
bar.
the worst thing to
He
eat.
said granola bar.
Yeah.
They get all
The only
soggy.
the only thing I would eat in a shower is like a really good sandwich,
Yeah, man.
and I would leave it outside, and then I'd go take a bite and go back.
How
in.
long are your showers that you can't eat after your shower?
First of all, I take very short showers, but sometimes I like to stay in there for like 15 minutes, just under the hot water,
It's
man.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then my skin is ultra dry.
There are people in very poor countries who hate us right now. I have a beer
Move here.
I have a beer cup holder in my shower, because like when you're pre-drinking before you go out, nothing's better than a cold beer in a hot shower. And my showers are hot. My
There's
showers
a
are like
lot-
120 degrees.
There's a lot of things better than that.
Nothing. Name one thing.
of
Eating in the shower.
someone eating your asshole in the middle of the shower. In the middle of the shower.
As long as it's not Mike Francesa or Stephen A. Smith, both of them having rough weeks.
Absolutely.
Mike
Francesa's
Francesa,
losing his mind slowly, and Stephen A. Smith is following him.
yeah, like so.
Is looking for Mike
is-
Francesa's brain.
Is Stephen A. Smith becoming Mike Francesa? Just for context, Terry.
Only when he puts on his glasses.
I'm gonna do that talk show thing. I don't know if you saw this, so that I can introduce to the audience. Mike Francesa saying that a number 16 seed has never been a number 1 seed, even though UMBC did it last year.
Yeah.
So they're freaking out, saying Mike Francesa, stop working,
Stop talking.
just retire.
Just stop talking.
Stephen A. Smith saying, making comments about how Mike Scioscia will handle the Mike Trout, even though he's been on the team, and Mike Scioscia has not been on the
Has
team.
not been in the team in years.
So that's an interesting.
So Stephen A. Smith
situation.
is
overworked.
overworked. I feel like he does this on purpose.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Looks like an idiot on purpose.
Not that he does it on purpose,
Because
but
he's a
like
smart guy.
he just won't correct himself because he knows it's gonna get clickbait.
He has a podcast now where he
Yeah,
literally
where he
goes
corrects
on.
himself. Yeah,
to
he
correct
I've
was
said
himself.
this
Yeah.
before.
So, but that's Stephen A. Smith. That's his whole appeal, right? Where on the other side is that he fucks up, corrects himself later on, and people still watch. I was watching for what's his show called?
First take.
First take or the Stephen A. Smith show?
Well, whatever. The
Sure.
first take
Yeah.
with Kellerman. I was watching it, and he said, as soon as they mentioned Burfict going to the Raiders,
Right.
he started ripping on the Cowboys fans.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
but like lose your mind slower.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. It doesn't make sense. But that's the thing. I feel like, they're in a situation where the two guys who have just committed a lot of their lives to this, and now it's passing them by, and not entirely their fault, but also they're just a lot on their plates.
That's it exactly.
We're getting a website. We now have more stuff on our plates.
Well, we want to buy it, but we don't know yet. We've been trying to get hotsaucesports.com, so if anybody knows the owner of
Jerk
those
faces,
guys,
stop with your bullshit scam and give us your website.
there hasn't been anything posted on that site since December 2017.
I noticed that they actually have a blog that teaches people how to gamble, which is
Right.
pretty incredible.
Like, can I learn how to play craps there? Because it's always escaped me. I never understood how to play that game.
So eventually our site's going to be up, and
Mhm.
eventually we're going to have some really cool articles, and eventually we're going to have some sponsorship and have some money.
Give us money.
I mean, we're doing this out of the love of our own hearts, right? December
I love my own
11th,
heart.
2017, how to play bingo is the last thing they posted. First
Bingo
of all,
sports.
people who play bingo don't have the internet. Second of all, it's really not that hard, so you don't need a 900 word document on how to play bingo.
Jesus.
And
I'm sure if you
third
buy
of
the
all,
if you buy like a bingo
answer
set,
my
the
emails.
rule book's not even 900 words.
that's it.
It's like 40.
It's like
It's like play
he
bingo.
says
dumbass.
this, he says this, you highlight this.
If you don't have it, you do not highlight it.
And if they connect, you win something. You win $14.
He has the website on the screen while you guys are talking.
Oh,
Awesome.
beautiful. Yes, there you
These
go.
guys are jerks. Screw yourself, hotsaucesports.com.
So we
Not
need-
us.
we
We're
need to-
amazing. You're jerks. You're jerks.
We need to just bombard them with emails, and until
But
they
they're not
just,
answering it. They're not checking their emails.
I know.
Andrew Johnson versus Alan Maloney is the case of a referee forcing a guy to cut his dreadlocks.
So
Would you, I
this is a
know
long time ago.
you've been involved in fighting.
yeah,
um,
fighting. Yeah.
So, like, what would someone like? What if I said, Terry,
I've been involved.
you need to shave
very
your face.
very poorly.
You need to shave your face to be in this fight.
Why?
Otherwise, you forfeit. Because
I'll
that was the
sh- I'll-
case. That was the
I'll
case
sh-
for Andrew Johnson.
I
He had
mean,
to cut.
I've-
He had to cut his dreadlocks off.
So wrestlers, it was a wrestling competition, right? Wrestlers go through a lot. They cut a lot of weight and they grind, and they're the most structured people, and they're really on point with their training and everything like that. So if he goes to a tournament, no matter how long it's been taking him to grow out his dreadlocks, and the ref tells him you can't compete unless you cut your hair, he's gonna fucking cut his hair. Wrestlers do not give a shit. They're gonna do whatever they have to do to win, and good on him for cutting his hair. But
But it's not a
secondly,
rule, though.
it's not a rule
So why the fuck would he comply with
because he's a fucking idiot. That ref.
He's also the same ref has been known to make racial comments in competition.
it? But so if I'm a player and I show up and a ref is saying you can't do this and that's not in the rules.
So what about girls?
I'm bringing in the head judge.
So what about girls? Girls wrestle.
Yeah.
They all have long
But that's
hair.
what I'm saying though. This rule is made up.
It's 100% made up.
So why did you even comply? I would have been like, let me go see your manager.
But when it comes to that point, you don't care. You just want to. You're looking at your opponent, especially wrestlers, man. They have such a different mentality.
You know what he needed? A suburban mom.
Yeah, just to start yelling with that cut. That haircut that goes from here all the way down here.
Oh, yeah.
The supervisor haircut.
It's like the reverse mullet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah,
longer
you
in
just
front.
need or Sandra
a little-
Bullock
with a
or,
pink-
or Sandra Bullock.
Sandra
Sandra
Bullock
Bullock.
would be ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ideal.
Well, Sandra Bullock in
The Blind Side.
Blindside.
We're
Not
all
in-
thinking that reference.
Not in any
Not
other movie.
Speed.
Not in any other movie.
We don't want Speed Sandra
Or
Bullock.
even Ocean's 8. I would take her in Ocean's 8.
Yeah, not bad. Not
Yeah.
bad.
Speed was a good
But
one.
he's actually suing the referee, he's suing the referee personally for $100,000.
Good. I hope he wins. I really do.
I don't know if the referee will have $100,000
Well,
because you're a wrestling referee.
No, because you're suing
you've
him.
made mistakes somewhere.
It'll probably be the commission that'll pay if he wins, or they'll just settle out of court, or it's just gonna give him notoriety.
Or they
That's
cut
all.
his hair.
But they're like, all right, we'll give you $100,000, just shave your fucking head. Imagine.
Robert Kraft's getting some notoriety as well for his court case. He's not taking the settlement. What are your thoughts about that, too?
It means that he thinks he's innocent.
I just think he's really relaxed because he got all that stress built out of him. Because like he got a massage and then he got one rubbed out and now he's not so stressed. So why worry about it?
Yeah.
What's the backstory of that? I think I missed the first part. So there was a settlement that was offered.
Robert Kraft, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was a settlement. I didn't hear too much about it. So
Yeah.
there was a settlement that was offered.
We don't know how much,
They
though.
said they offered him a plea deal saying, look, just say you're guilty, pay this much and we'll go
Say
away.
that you got a hand job.
And Robert Kraft basically, just like he was at a massage party, whipped it right up.
No, but for real, if this is the case, but he must really think that he's innocent. Right?
Yeah.
So if he isn't innocent, then why don't you just take this plea deal?
Or he's 77, he's not gonna be around forever. He's rich enough to make this case last long enough.
Until he
He'll never
dies.
see the end of it, right?
That's a very good point.
But why would
Until
you
they
ever
give up.
admit to it? Why would you ever admit to it?
Well, just like the thing is,
Because his wife is gonna leave him and take all that money.
no, but he's not married.
He's not married?
Hold on, I'm on
He's-
it. I'm on it.
She
I'm on
died.
it.
His wife died.
No, I think.
But
he
isn't
got
he married to
remarried.
like a younger girl now?
No, he's dating.
Oh,
on it.
okay.
Because who in the right mind
Fuck her.
get
That's
who in
the
the
only
right
thing-
mind would get married twice?
Well, that's a very good point. So that's the only thing I was thinking is that he's scared of the divorce settlement because she'll take half, i.e., Jeff Bezos, whose wife is now the richest woman in the world, for doing. Are you ready for this? Nothing.
That's not true.
I thought it was Kylie Jenner from being a self-made
Well, she also
billionaire.
She technically is self-made.
No,
She didn't buy a product and sell it.
No, but she did.
she is the product.
Exactly.
Yeah, but she developed that.
I mean, I
Like we-
don't know how much of her mind went in that development.
Yeah, correct. But like,
I don't think she's sitting on any business meetings. Is what I'm trying to say.
correct. It's like me.
Yeah.
With that, let's get to the news.
I feel like you have zero
Always
research
be
on
Eagles.
this.
Be ready. Be ready.
We don't need no research.
Yes, you. Never.
What's the point of a week of news, Terry?
What's the point of research?
Good point.
See,
How much money did Mike Trout make this week?
430 million.
He did some research.
That's
So,
my research.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Mike Trout, $430 million. Some people saying not worth it. Some people saying very worth it.
Is anybody worth 430 million dollars?
Mike Trout.
But supply and demand.
Well, so here's the thing. I don't understand the supply and demand of baseball
So
because
supply and demand means when you want something.
other than the people in this room who's watching baseball.
I mean,
I'll give you an example of how no one's watching baseball. We work on a sports show. We didn't know what Major League Baseball was starting yesterday. Major League Baseball, maybe
no,
tell
no.
someone your league is starting.
So this is my research, Duke. Okay. He does not. So I knew that it starts April 1st, the season, but I also had
March
heard about
28th?
this last year. This Japanese game between the Oakland Athletics and the Seattle Mariners.
Does-
That's my research.
The season starts March 28th.
No, April 1st.
It should be noted though that their
Well, opening day is April 1st. sorry.
that the Angels' current TV deal will be $3.5 billion.
Yeah, so
So they need some kind of talent on a team. It's a big.
it's more
contract.
complicated than just team makes this much, the team makes that much, therefore it's worth it.
Math.
So he
Eagle
is
do math.
his wins against above replacement is legendarily high. He is at this point in his career on pace to be the greatest baseball player who's ever lived.
Yeah, like
Statistically.
Ricky Henderson good.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
It's fact.
I mean,
No, it's
It's
actually a
It's a
fact.
very good comparison.
It's a fact. That's research, Terry. That's called research.
Really? Why
This
did
thing-
you just piggybacked off someone's
I did, yeah.
article?
I really
he read a single article. Correct.
Research comparable Mike Trout.
So, but like we talked about Robert Kraft dropping his pants and just showing how big it is. How small does Bryce Harper's $330 million feel? It feels like it's real cold
It feels
outside.
$100 million shorter.
Yeah. And like, do you think it's a like by accident that him and his agent got one last year and $100 million?
No,
it
it's
feels very pointed.
focused. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Well, that's what happens though when Bryce Harper's completely overrated and Mike Trout's an excellent player.
Overrated.
So
That's an overrated word.
I mean, wasn't his wins above replacement 2? Bryce Harper's last year.
Sure, that's a very good point.
But how good is wins above replacement when you've never done anything in the playoffs and never made the playoffs?
So here's the thing, though. So the thing is, one has 2 wins above replacement, the other one has 10. So if one has 2 inches and the other one has 10, the difference is 8
bigger
inches.
cock.
So
Bigger
right
cock.
now,
Yeah.
Mike Trout's swinging in 8 more inches. That's all I'm saying.
I guess what I'm getting at is that Mike Trout hasn't been to the playoffs. If he has, maybe once, and it's a huge contract for. I mean, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but hasn't exactly panned out very well for the Angels at the moment. Anyway, it's not an individual sport. I mean, it is in a sense,
It's the
but
most individual sport.
no, but it is.
the
But
thing is,
there's
it's the
a
only
lot that goes into
it's
it.
the
Team
only
tennis.
sport. It's the only sport where a guy getting paid does not expect you're not expecting them to win a championship if he gets
Okay.
paid. It's the only sport.
Yeah. Because you're paying for their individual abilities.
That's it.
And
But it's not only that. It's like in hockey, if you're gonna pay Sidney Crosby $10 million, you expect him to finish first in points and to win a Stanley Cup in the next few years. In basketball, is the same thing. Football, especially, same thing. In baseball, a lot of guys get paid just to be on teams, just so the team can make money off TV deals. That's all they care about. The team collectively, the locker room, wants to win, but for the individual getting paid has nothing to do with championships.
A team that couldn't be further from the championship, from their championship, is the New York Giants. But the good news is Dave Gettleman has a plan.
If there's
let's
if
hear if he
relegation
tells
is
us about his
involved.
plan. The Eagles got that queued up.
Truly, Pat, very, very honestly, it's not my responsibility to tell you guys what I'm doing.
Good point. Fair point.
That is not just like it's not my responsibility to respond to every rumor that comes down the pike.
Fair point.
That's not my job.
We're on the same
Okay,
page
it's not
right
my
now.
responsibility. Trust me, we got a plan,
Trust him.
and over time, you've got to be patient.
This is the best.
You know,
part.
everybody wants answers
agree.
now. We live
This
in
is the
an
best part watching.
instant gratification society,
Right.
instant gratification world, and everybody wants answers now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over time, you'll see it.
Over time,
You got to trust it.
gotta trust it.
Dave, this is Jordan Ronan. I know it's not your responsibility to tell us your plan, but fans do want to have a vision. They want to know where you guys are headed, and that's why I think Pat is asking you the question, and people want to know that.
I appreciate that, Jordan. Okay, we have positions to address, and our plan is to address those positions, plain and simple. And we'll do it with whatever means necessary. You may do it through a draft pick. You may do it on a waiver claim. You may do it in free agent. Signing an unrestricted free agent. You may sign a street free agent. You may sign an NQO, a third-year player who doesn't get a qualifying offer from his team, and you may make a trade.
So
There's a million ways to do it.
all right, let's cut this.
So we're exploring and using all those options.
All right, all those options. A lot of options, Dave. He
okay.
sounds like somebody that's very defensive because he realized
Because he has no plan.
I might have fucked this up.
So, he's not sharing this plan with us. This
Yeah.
glorious plan. Like even in the Ocean's 8, they show you how the plan's going to work out in the end, right? There's
I
the whole
guess.
cutscenes and all that.
So
Where's your cutscenes, Gettleman?
He doesn't have a plan. So getting rid of Odell Beckham, he had his reasons. Replacing him with Golden Tate. I like Golden Tate. I think he's a very, very good player.
He's a slot receiver.
Come on.
But he's a slot receiver. He's a good player, Golden Tate. But I don't like that. It can't be the replacement
No.
of Odell Beckham. It could have been a complimentary, but they still have Sterling Shepard. I mean, I'm not too worried about the Giants. I'm more worried about next 2 years from now.
The worst thing about that whole, I guess, whatever you want to call it, phone interview, which we didn't show for some reason, is that at one point he was saying that, well, we've made progress. We went from 3 wins to 5 wins.
They're going to go back down to 3 wins.
So, based on that projection, they're going to make the playoffs in 10
Maybe
years.
they'll have 7 wins next year.
Okay, give me their first 6 games.
I'm on it. I'll get it for you.
But my favorite thing is, again, so he's saying you got to trust him.
Yeah.
He's not telling you why.
Yeah.
Also, hey, there's a bunch of ways you can rebuild a team. I don't know which one's going to be, but there's all these options.
We can sign this guy and that guy.
From the street.
Anybody.
Or maybe even make a trade.
Or how about you just don't trade the top 5 receiver in the league
A legendary talent.
for nothing. Just because he kicked the fence. Kicked the kicking fence or whatever it is. You got the list? Or?
There's 2 of you.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Just one of you.
it's
Just
slow.
one. Just one.
Week 1, Jacksonville Nope,
Lost.
that's
No,
last
that was
year.
last year. I did the exact same thing.
Man, the production value.
The Giants' website sucks.
Yeah, it's
So why
Just
are the
like their
Giants?
it's not
fucking
our
front
fault.
office.
I could have done it on Score.
It's not my fault.
I mean, on S'more.
Honestly, let's just forget about the Giants schedule.
No, I'm doing it right now.
So, but like, and the thing is, so like, dude, you hear that, and they're still expecting the fans to dish out premium dollar.
Yes.
Like our
Weird.
dad goes to the Giants
Yeah.
often. He goes
Yes.
to the Giants often.
Yes,
We know what those tickets cost.
they're expensive.
They're
You know
insanely
why?
expensive.
We don't have the schedule yet.
It's
Yeah,
not-
it hasn't
It doesn't
released yet.
exist.
Listen,
What do you mean?
we asked you to
Isn't it
produce.
announced? Oh, it's not announced?
We know the opponents throughout the year, but not the
We
actual
asked you
schedule.
to get us the schedule.
I'll get
Maybe
back
we'll
to you.
produ-
I'll get
produce
back to
the
you in
schedule.
3 to 6 months.
Oh my god, you're the worst.
Okay, cool. Get me every opponent they have.
Also, maybe an NCAA bracket because I asked you a month ago.
But what has Dave Gettleman ever done in terms of GMing?
He got fired from the Patriot from the Panthers.
from the Panthers.
Yeah. So what happened
Okay.
was he worked for a racist owner who got rid of him.
They're playing
Okay,
Giants
so
twice.
obviously they play the Giants twice, the
The
Eagles
Cowboys
twice.
twice. They don't play the Giants.
Sorry, they play the Cowboys twice, the Eagles twice, and the Redskins twice.
Yes,
Yeah.
lost.
At
All of them.
home, they play the Packers, the Vikings,
Lost,
the
lost.
Bills, the Dolphins, and the
Lost.
Cardinals.
Lost.
And then on the road, they play the Bears, the Lions, the
Lost,
Patriots,
lost,
the Jets, and the
lost.
Buccaneers.
Oh, they're not going to win a game next season.
Okay, so I see.
So Tua is
I
playing
see
for the Giants.
one win in the division. It can either be against the Cowboys or the Redskins. I see one win in the AFC matchups that they have: the Bills, Dolphins, Pats, and Jets division. It'll probably be against. I want to say the Bills. I'll say the Bills. I see a win there. Depends on what time of the year it is, and it's at home, right? And then maybe a Bucks in Tampa Bay win, but I doubt it. Depends on what time of the year it's gonna be because they're not gonna beat the Bears, Lions, Pats, or Jets. I don't think away, and that's it. So they end up with 3 wins.
Apparently,
take it to the bank.
Apparently, they sent Shermer, the coach of the Giants, to check out Haskins, quarterback from the Ohio State. So I'm actually wondering if that's the plan. If the plan is that to draft Haskins or Kyler Murray.
But
I assume it's going to be to draft a quarterback and develop him through Eli,
But then,
not Kyler Murray.
weren't they afraid of offending Eli Manning 2
Yes.
seasons ago?
Yep, that's true.
But now he has to realize that didn't they just extend him too?
Yeah,
Mhm.
20 million.
yes.
That's the most interesting part of it.
Yeah, so they extended a guy who essentially should have retired a long time ago, who's 116 and 14 in his career. Talk about research. Boom.
And he's
motherfucker.
116 years old with how he's taking care of that
Still
body.
2 Super Bowls though.
Yeah, how many years ago?
It doesn't matter, but also those 2 Super Bowls, like, can you close your eyes harder and just throw the ball? Chucker McGee.
Chucker
Listen,
McGee.
man.
It's true. That's
He's a
basically his
chucker,
career. He's a
man.
chucker.
He's a chucker. He's the only quarterback that's won two Super Bowls that doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. He's never won an individual award. He's never led the league in anything. He's never. I don't think he's ever thrown over 40 touchdowns. If you can correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm on it.
I want to say like 38.
He's
as
always
best season.
the teams that he's won with. He's always had a decent running game and an excellent defense. When your defense is getting you 40 sacks a year, you pretty much don't have to do much.
I would argue that with the how often they would throw the ball back in the day, that Terry Bradshaw doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
But the thing is, you're talking about eras, right?
Yeah.
So Terry Bradshaw in his era was one of the better ones.
Terry, you got to pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm moving on to the Ben Roethlisberger topic.
Sorry.
Never threw over 40.
He had 35
touchdowns.
in 2015.
See,
Yeah, 35.
2015. That was the year they won. They won 20. They won.
Oh, I think that was the year Plaxico shot himself. To be honest.
That's when you shoot yourself in the foot. That's what it sounds like.
Big Ben is being criticized by former teammates.
This is stupid.
So there's a couple. One is Le'Veon Bell saying essentially he's a tough guy to play with, and that if you're kind of in a doghouse with Ben, he'll make decisions on the field where the ball won't go to you.
Okay.
He'll like change game script and move it away from you.
Willie Beeman. He's Willie Beeman.
And then Antonio Brown's saying that essentially he was given sort of free reign as if he was like coach and general manager of the team, like as if he was part of the administration of the team, and then he was accused of fumbling on purpose.
Fumbling on? No, that's bullshit. I watched
Todd
it.
Haley, yeah.
I watched it, and to fuck with Todd Haley, I don't see. Listen, we're all human. We all make mistakes. So Josh Harris is saying, Josh Harris, right? He played for the Steelers. He's saying that he called a run play to Le'Veon Bell, whoever the running back was, and he tried to hand it off to the fullback. Is it possible? Devil's advocate, that he forgot the play?
Or is there a chance Ben Roethlisberger is a giant penis?
Maybe.
And behaves like a petulant child?
Maybe.
Who, when he doesn't get what he wants, he forces it on other people.
So
in fact, there's
what
2 legal
benefit-
cases
what-
where he did so.
What benefit is it to up by 10? Yeah, I just got what you said.
There we go.
What benefit is up by 10 to fumble the ball purposely? What benefit is it to you?
Because you want to kneel it out, your coach doesn't want to, so you say, fuck it, I'm going to get off the field.
I don't get it. But then they recovered it.
Yeah,
Didn't he recover it?
Nope.
No, it was the running back. who
He's
recovered
the
it?
running back.
I love
I
how
just don't see
I
it,
love
man.
how the guy that was actually narrating the video at the beginning. He's like, well, nothing I can really do about it now because fuck it, I suck.
I like it, yeah. No, but I think you said that because people were saying that he sucked.
Yeah,
He's like, I suck, so I can't say anything about this. But you know what? Good for him for calling it out. At the end of the day, the locker room thing, right? But if where there's smoke, there's fire. If you see somebody that's not doing things correctly, call it out. Fuck it.
What is fire right now is the NHL wildcard race, Terry.
I love it.
It's been super interesting. We're Canadians fans. We're Montreal Canadiens fans.
Naturally.
It's looking like
We're guilty by association.
it's looking like the path isn't as clear as it once was earlier in the season, but still very, very exciting.
So it's the one freaky thing to me is when I look at it, I see Columbus Blue Jackets fighting for their lives. Canadians at the beginning of the year, I'm a season ticket holder. I never thought they'd be in a position to even be considered.
How unhappy were you with your tickets before the season, and how happy are you with your tickets now?
So I knew that I would have a loss. I'm pretty much breaking even at this point, which I'm happy with.
Mhm.
So if you were to tell me that the Rangers would be on the outside looking in, that the Columbus Blue Jackets would be fighting for their lives, that
That's
the
crazy to me.
that the Islanders
That's
would be
crazy to
in
me.
without John Tavares, in by a long shot, by 7 points, with 9 games left, that the Carolina fucking Hurricanes would
Yeah.
be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
To me, that's crazy. And now if I look at the West, the Coyotes to be considered, and the Wild not to be in there, Colorado not to be in there. They have the best first line in the league, 100% with Landeskog, McKinnon, and Ratinen. There's no way they shouldn't be in the playoffs. The Blackhawks, okay, they're kind of on a downfall. I see it. Vancouver rebuilding. Edmonton, you have the best player in the world on your team. How
Again.
could you not be in the playoffs? What?
Well,
Again.
they started off really slow, and then ever since hiring a new coach, it's kind of changed a lot.
Yeah.
But going back to the Eastern wildcard standings, I really think that like last night's actions was really interesting because essentially the Canadians beat the Flyers, but Carolina still managed to beat the Penguins. And I feel like it's really one of the most. This is the time of the year I find that I'm the most intrigued by hockey.
Well, NHL playoffs are, if not the best, the second best tournament
absolutely.
in sports.
Absolutely.
Right? And the closer you get to the end of the year, it's not like basketball. Basketball, the first 2 rounds are a wash, right? You kind of know who's going to make it. In the NHL, a 7-game series can legit go 7 games to the 8th seed, and it happens often. LA Kings did it twice, where they were the 8th seed, they won Stanley Cups.
Well, the NBA has an amazing formula where even though we all know who's going to win, they have one of the most exciting playoffs. Like, we know the
Very
result
exciting.
and we don't care.
Yeah.
It's kind of like all these superhero movies that you know they're going to survive,
Yeah.
but they're making $700 million.
So, but I feel like with NHL, there's there's a lot less hype on the individual. You know what I mean? And even if you talk about Ovechkin last year, everybody wanted Ovechkin to win, right? Everybody was on the Washington bandwagon during the playoffs, but it was still about the team. Washington, Barry Trotz, like things like that, and it's crazy that I think that it's such a better playoff than the NBA is.
And
100%.
and so like
I disagree.
I'm looking
The
at the
NBA playoffs is my favorite. So it's my favorite time of year. It is what it is.
I'm looking at the Tampa Bay Lightning, right? So they're having a magnificent season, 116 points.
They
Maybe
already clinched.
they already clinched, but the NHL playoffs are so crazy that it's almost possible that
they can
Tampa
lose
Bay
to the
gets
Habs.
eliminated the first round.
They can lose to the Habs.
Yeah.
They
Anything
can lose to
can
the
happen.
Habs in the first round. They can draw Columbus. If Bobrovsky gets on fire, that the whole team goes on fire. There's no reason why. Columbus is stacked beyond belief, and they added Duchesne. So just to say, and it's crazy to see that they can get bounced, but that's what the playoffs is. That's why the NHL playoffs is so fucking good, man. So fucking good. It doesn't make sense. Ottawa 2 years ago were 1 game away from making it to the Stanley Cup final.
Now it's tire fire.
They're last place in the East now.
Yeah.
Because they lost 1 player?
So if you're looking at Carolina, Columbus, Montreal, and Philly, who do you think are going to be the 2 last teams going to make it into the wild card?
I think it's going to be Columbus and Montreal.
Okay.
He says that because he needs to sell those playoff tickets.
It's because I want to go to a playoff game. I didn't have a chance to go to any games this year.
And
But I think it's gonna be Columbus and
wait
Montreal.
to go with you, Terry.
Yeah.
Invitinghimself.com.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Columbus and Montreal. Yeah.
That'd be fun. A lot of fun is our next guest, Junior Luke. Really great guy, great storyteller. Looking forward to talking to him. We'll join him next on Hot Sauce Sports. Also, subscribe.
That's it. Yeah. Do that shit.
And we're back. We're joined by Junior Luke of the BC Lions from the CFL. How's it going, Junior?
I'm good. I'm very good. How about you?
Excellent, excellent. I have a quick story to start things off. You might not remember this, Junior. First time I met you, we actually played against each other in a flag football game. You were matched up against one of our players who was an NCAA baseball player,
Carbone.
Mike Carbone, and he were like, okay, it's a waste. Why are we using him to guard this big guy? And you went up, and you mossed him. You caught a one-hander over his head for a touchdown. And I was like, yeah, that guy's a freak athlete.
I think Junior missed his calling as a receiver.
He's got some of the softest hands I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was great. I saw him catch a touchdown once and bust out the nene. I was fucking dying.
I remember that one. I think it was like 2 years ago. Yeah, I remember that. But
yeah, it was fun.
Do you have any stories, Junior, about like how like a lot of times the big guys don't get credit for how athletic they are, and like the way you've surprised people by being as athletic as you are?
Man, to be honest with you, especially in flag, when I play flag, I mean, I feel they don't expect me to move that fast or to catch some balls. And I mean, I played a lot of touch football in high school when I was in Nabel, and we used to just play some touch all the time and doing a lot of footwork too as well. And that's where my skills was from. So since then, I don't know. For me, I've always been a big guy, but always like in my heart, I've been like I'm a receiver. Like I like to catch the ball, like to run routes. For some reason, even when I go to the Uber Stadium, I do some drills, D-line drills. But even my old teammates, they do route runnings, and sometimes I go with them do some routes because I just love running routes and catching balls. So it's natural to me.
So why not tight end?
I wish. I'd love to play tight end, just change position, just go run routes. But you know, it's when you play pro, it's not the same thing. They don't allow you to do that.
So I have actually a question about a rumor I heard, and now we all know how these things work. They tend not to be true. Right. I heard that you had some interest in teams in the NCAA. If you were willing to switch to offensive line, there was teams willing to work with you. Now I don't know if that's true, and I just wanted now this is your chance to address that.
I don't remember hearing that. I know I had offers in NCAA back when I was in Vanier College, but I don't know about offensive line. I knew I think Connecticut wanted me and Buffalo, but as a defensive line, I don't think offensive line they were offering me that, but I had those offers, and back then I was playing football just more for fun and not because I was aiming for go pro or just that type of aspect. It was just for fun because my friends was there. I liked just playing, tackling, and all that stuff. And once I got those offers, I didn't feel ready to go. I know a lot of players in college and high school, they dream of just going into AA, especially because you're Canadian, and all you see on TV, all you see on media is NCAA guys playing football, playing for big teams and going in the NFL. And it's a good goal to have. I have no problem with that. It's just for me personally, and for anybody, if you don't feel it's right to go somewhere, just don't go. For me, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready physically. I wasn't ready mentally because I wasn't playing for the right. I mean, I was playing for the right reasons, but I wasn't aiming to go pro or I wasn't aiming to go into AA. So my mindset was different, and I don't regret it. I think it was good for me to just stay and build that up, just for me to just go to the next level. Because once I got to University of Montreal, that's where I noticed, okay, I need to work hard more. I need to work out more. I need to run more. I need to lose weight. I need to be more in shape because playing Canadian football, it's not the same thing. You know, you got 4-down football and 3-down football. 3-down football, you move a lot, you run a lot. It's a lot of special teams, and it's way more cardio than you think.
So were you really not tried to make it? You didn't try at all. I really tried and failed miserably.
I wasn't trying really when I was in college. Even high school, I was having so much fun. It was fun because my friends were there. You know, it's you have great relations with people, and that's what made me want to keep playing, because it was just fun. I would go to practice, play games, and just win games with my friends. So that was the main reason why I was playing. So once I got to the next level, and I was seeing, okay, I need to work out. I wasn't working out at all. Like it wasn't a motivation to me to work out and try to go to the gym and get bigger. No, I was just playing with what I had, and it worked. I wasn't taking it for granted in some way, but at the same time, yes, I was taking it for granted because I wasn't serious. But going to university taught me a lot of things, and I grew up. I knew what I had to do to get to the next level. And once I got to my third year, I knew I wanted to go pro. My third year, I knew I wanted to go pro. I knew I had to be serious about it. And at the end of my third year, when we lost against UBC at the Vanier Cup, I knew I had to go. I knew I had to jump the ladder and just go to the next level to just be the best player I could be. And my last season was my best season I had in university. So since then, I don't have any regrets. And if I have another chance to have a tryout with a team, an NFL team, then I'll take it, because right now I'm ready. You know, I'm ready. I went my first year with BC Lions, pro level CFL, and mentally I was ready. Mentally I was ready to go there. I knew I was ready. And if it would have been the juniors from Vanier College, I'm telling you, I would have been scared of just being here. Yeah. So I think it was good. It was a good reflection of all that for me.
Junior, for those who aren't initiated, Junior actually got a workout with the New York Giants. I have a conspiracy theory. You tell me if it's true or not, because we see the New York Giants extending Eli Manning, getting rid of Odell Beckham Jr., not signing Junior Luke. Is this a conspiracy for the Giants to tank for the future? That's what I see. That's how I see it.
I don't want to say anything. I'm just good so I don't get fined.
Because we all saw you bust through that line and block that kick against
right.
Right.
Yeah,
right. So we all know you got the skills. That's for sure.
No, I believe in my skills. I think I can play it in the NFL. I went to the Giants minicamp. I've seen a lot of players, a lot of guys that got drafted. One was playing for Alabama. I think he was a little bit taller than me, but I didn't feel out of place when I was there. I knew that I had a good get off. I knew I could play. I knew I was fast. I had good feet, and I think just the main difference for me personally, for my skills and all that, I needed to work on my hands more, my pass rush more. But I didn't think that somebody was better than me. I just think I went there. It was just more of an experience than anything else. I think they knew already who they wanted. So, and it was just a good experience for me. I loved it. I loved the guys. And if I can have another chance, I'll go, definitely.
So I've known a few guys that went to NFL camps, and they all said the same thing that you just said, Junior. I feel like with Canadians, you really have to, if you're going to NFL camp, you really have to wow them, especially if you didn't go to NCAA school. You really have to like, stand out completely, be like, okay, fuck, this is the guy. Where if you're just a little bit better than some other guys, they're going to be like, okay, but we don't know like how he's going to do during games because he only played in Canadian rules.
Yeah, what's
or
his
whatever.
resume?
Yeah.
So he played against weaker talent or whatever. So I had a friend that he played University of Connecticut. He played there 4 years. He was second team. He was all Big East. He was first team all Big East, second team all America. As a center, he was going to get drafted by the Ravens. They didn't end up drafting him. He went to the Bucks in the training camp. He was the last cut, and he said, and we were talking with a few other guys that played in the CFL, like friends of ours, and he said that the guys in the CFL are much better than some of the guys he saw in Tampa Bay. Some guys they don't even work out. They have sloppy bodies, but they still made the team. And it's just it's a perception thing more than anything else. You know, we all
exactly. Once you get there, to be honest, you get there, you see a lot of players, a lot of different players. Some guys are just not as good as you think. You know, it's just there's that one percentage where that guy is just unreal. Like, he's just like a monster. Like, you can't even compare to other people. But I went there. I've seen guys. I'm not saying they weren't good. It's just I wasn't impressed. I wasn't surprised. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not that different. It's only big difference is they went to a big school, and I'm a Canadian. And like you said, they don't know me. They don't know who I am. They think I play with in a small school, small league where like the players aren't that great. But no, it's a question of opportunity and getting the attention of a scout, getting the attention of a coach, and showing them that you can play in that league. It's just, I mean, that's their mentality. They see Canadian, they're like, they're probably not that good, blah 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 blah. But I don't agree with that. I think you should evaluate somebody with his skill set and can he play? Can he play in the league? Can he not play in the league? And that's how you evaluate people, right? So
the Giants, you do favors, right, for guys that coaches in college. They know guys that coaches in the NFL, so be like, take my guy, he's good, kind of thing. You do favors.
Yeah, exactly, right. So that you can't control that. That's not in control.
That's it.
And the Giants have made this mistake before. They didn't sign Cam Wake. Cam Wake went to play in the CFL. So there's a path. There's a path here. Hopefully, Junior is going to be down in Miami sooner than later, and we'll just get maybe comped a couple of tickets from Junior Luke. That would be awesome. Junior, I know you worked really hard. You worked really hard on your body and staying fit. But what's a cheat day like for Junior Luke?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
I love asking the big guys about cheat days. It's my favorite.
A cheat day. That's me, especially on weekends. I cheat on weekends, and it's always pizza. I take pizza, poutine. Nachos. For some reason, I love nachos now because when I was in BC, we used to like go to restaurants often, and I used to just take nachos all the time. And now, like, I'm making nachos at home, and I love it. So that's most of my cheat days.
What's the meal you miss the most from Montreal?
Oh, my family.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, my family, my friends, especially my friends from university, and I feel it's. I don't know. It's different. It's not like in Vancouver. Vancouver is like it's a beautiful city. It's always sunny. People are nice. It's just you go there for like, let's say you go there for a couple weeks, and then after that week you've seen everything almost, right? Yeah. Other than that, if you want to see other stuff, and you have to go further from downtown, go to the mountains, all that. So like, I love Montreal because there's a lot of things you can do. If you think that you seen everything, that's not true. Like, there's all this stuff you can see, other events you can go to, clubs you can go, other people you can meet. So it's diversified. So I like the city, and that's what I like about.
So when you say it's always sunny, what about the thing people say about BC? It's always raining. I know. I was there on a 30-hour trip, 30 hours, of course, because that's the hot sauce budget. I was there for only 30 hours. It was raining like mad. I've never seen anything like that. Is it like a misconception about BC, or is that actually the case?
Oh, no. Trust me. Once you, I think, once you get to like mid-season or end of the season, it starts raining like all the time. It's like, it's depressing. You don't like it. That you have like all that sunny day for like a couple months, and then all of a sudden it's always raining. So yeah, it's not a misconception. It's for real. It's for real.
So what's your favorite poutine in Montreal? You mentioned poutine, and I'm a huge poutine guy.
Terry's a connoisseur.
And then I'm gonna challenge. Yeah, I'm gonna challenge you.
Go. Have you gone to what's it called? La Poule Mouillée.
That's my favorite one.
Yo, I swear to God.
It's my favorite one.
Every time I go there, I buy the biggest poutine and I eat it the whole way. I love it.
I haven't had it yet.
It's amazing.
My current life choices don't accommodate for poutine very often.
True.
But I will say...
But it burnt down, Ma Poule Mouillée. They're rebuilding it, so I haven't been able to have it. I actually went. I was disappointed. I drove, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why was it closed?
Yeah, I heard about that, too. Yeah, so I was satisfied. I was like, no, I went to go
with the sausages and the Portuguese chicken. It's unbelievable.
Our producer, Duke, and I, we often go to the watering hole down near where we work, and it's Brouhaha. And they advertise Meilleur Poutine en Ville, the best poutine in Montreal.
Yeah, doubt it.
So I don't know because I don't remember. Because every time I leave there, I'm not sober.
That's a good point.
Which is the only way I can permit myself to eat poutine, which is the worst time because I've already drank 3,000 calories.
Right.
It's a problem.
It's amazing. Honestly, so I'm going to challenge you now, but because Kadar Spooner said that he eats a lot. So I think me, you, Kadar, we got to sit down, go to Mapulmuye, and see who eats the most.
That'd be awesome. It's gonna be a very expensive day.
I'm down for that.
Yeah,
I'm down.
we're gonna do it, and then maybe it'll start a rivalry between you two, and then you guys.
Oh, maybe. I mean, me and Kadar, like, we have a good relationship, but
Not after this. Not after this.
You guys are gonna hate each other.
One last question before we let you go, Junior. Johnny Manziel just moved on from the Alouettes and is now going to the AAF. But nobody even cares. It's not even a real league. But so, what are your thoughts on Johnny Manziel moving on from the CFL?
To be honest, from what I've seen, I think it's good for him to go back to American football. I think his biggest issue is his arm strength, because playing Canadian football, playing American football is a completely different game. I mean, I feel that a lot of Americans that come to Canada and they think, oh, it's the same thing, but it's not, because the field is a lot wider, a lot bigger. The end zone is a lot bigger. So as a quarterback, you need to throw that ball, and it has to get there at a certain time. So I think for him, that he had a hard time throwing the deep passes and making his reads. And when he was playing Texas A&M, he was just kind of freestyling some way, and he had like really, really good receivers.
Yeah,
but when you get, exactly. So once you get to the pro level where everybody's good, you can't necessarily do the same thing you've been doing back in college. And in the NFL, he was struggling with the Browns, and I felt it was just the same thing. I just think he needs to figure out. He needs a good team for him to be more structured and learn more about the game, his reads, and just be able to play Johnny football for himself. But I think going to the AAF is a good thing for him. I think he's gonna like it, and it's a good opportunity for him.
The rumors are that when he came to Montreal from Hamilton, that Hamilton told Montreal, you need a full-time babysitter for this guy. So he probably just he probably just wasn't happy in Canada. You know, he was living on his own kind of thing.
Yeah.
He was just there for kind of a paycheck and getting paid a lot too. So I think it's better that he went to the AF. We'll see what happens with that.
Well, but there's two things. One, most people need a full-time babysitter in Montreal. It can get the best of you. Second thing, you heard it here first. Junior Luke says Johnny Manziel has a noodle arm. We all heard it. There we go.
I did not say noodle arm. I said he can't throw the ball that far. But
of course,
he's still very skilled. He's a very skilled player. Just can't throw it deep, which is what a quarterback should be doing.
Exactly. That's because that's their thing.
Yeah.
Junior, thanks for joining us. Junior Luke again joining us from the BC Lions. Soon to be getting his tickets down to Miami where it's super warm. That's what we're hoping on. But either way,
I'll get you one, no problem. Don't worry about it.
Either way, successful season so far, and we're looking forward to the rest of Junior's career. Junior, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Junior.
And we're back. Junior was awesome. I am your host, Peeze Del Reese. This is Terry Tam. This is what we call a reset. We're joined by our producers, Eagle at Master Control and Duke, who's looking at me angrily. But we need to do this, as well as remind people to like, click, and subscribe.
Yes.
But for now, stick with us as we head into Rapid Fire.
Rapidos fire.
All right, boys. In a pickle. TJ Dilshaw.
So this sucks.
You know that he doesn't even know what the story is. TJ Dilshaw. TJ Dilshaw drops his UFC bantam title after finding out that he failed the drug test.
So he relinquished it himself. USADA didn't have to do it because USADA would have dragged it on a lot longer. So he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it now." I got popped. It is what it is. He relinquished the belt. He'll be suspended probably for like a year. He started as now. So this sucks because Dillashaw was always known to be as the person who takes care of his body the most. He knows exactly what goes into his body. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he knew exactly what was in the needle as he pumped into his arm. The thing is, honestly, it no longer is surprising to me that UFC...
This one is surprising to me.
I just let these guys take what they got to take.
No.
If you're going to hulk up...
fucking dangerous, man.
It's not my problem. You're going to do it for my entertainment? Go ahead.
No, but they're trying to clean up the sport, going through ESPN.
It's totally working, by the way.
No,
it's totally working. That every single one of them is either smashing a phone or taking or putting a needle up their arm.
But technically, it's working because they're getting caught.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So all the guys that are doing it are getting caught. So it's slowly going to stop.
Meanwhile, Jumbo was just looking at it like, that's all you took? Soft.
A picogram?
Soft.
So it sucks for Dillashaw. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the bantamweight division. Hopefully, he's able to fight for it again. But it's actually Pedro Munoz. He's going to win probably that belt. They'll fight for an interim or some shit.
Next up, Call of Money. Call of Duty is getting a league.
So there's already, I guess, a national league, but now they're starting local leagues. And this is important because
Somebody got traded.
Activision Blizzard is making a shit ton of money off of this. They're selling franchises for 30 to 60 million buy-in.
What's this? You called it Blizzard?
Activision Blizzard.
What is that?
The guys who own Call of Duty and Overwatch League, which was the first league that created the esports kind of.
So now we can have
momentum.
the Montreal hot sauce, and it would be,
a professional Call of Duty team.
and we would get paid. Let's fucking do it.
So,
Let's
for
get on it.
example, the Overwatch League started out with 12 teams. They're at 20 now, including the Toronto Defiant and the Vancouver Titans. And Toronto has their farm team based out of Montreal called the Montreal Rebellion. So someone
We need
paid
to get
$50
those
million
guys.
bucks for a team out of Toronto.
wait, it's 15 to
50
buy a team. I
million.
thought that was to license a
Whoa.
league.
No, that's to buy a team.
Yeah, but you understand how much money is involved in gaming, though.
I don't get it. I know. I realize I'm the old guy in the room.
But you play. No?
yeah, 100%.
I don't play Call of Duty. I mean, I have played.
Do you watch people play?
No, I don't. I mean,
There we go.
the only time I've ever watched people play video games is at my hockey tournament. Our scorekeepers love watching guys play Fortnite, so they just tune in and they'll watch guys like Ninja, Nick Merckx,
Yeah,
all those
Same
guys.
here. We do the back here. The production studio loves to watch other people play video games.
Why?
It's actually one of the things we love doing the
So
most.
I follow one guy on Instagram that plays Fortnite crazily.
You watch sports?
Yeah,
Do you play those sports?
yeah,
Do you play them well?
probably not. That's why I'm here.
Do you play games?
Yes,
Do you play them well?
sure. Depends on the game.
Would you like to watch someone?
So I do. I mean, I
No.
understand the
See, that's
appeal.
where it falls apart. It's no longer interesting to
I
me.
understand the appeal, and the best part about those is the shit talking. It's not necessarily watching the games, but like Fortnite, for example, I love watching like these guys build shit.
yeah.
You know, I'm like, fuck, it doesn't make sense. So I mean, I get the appeal, but 50 million for a fucking video game team, holy!
I love how you say it doesn't make sense and say I get the appeal.
I get the appeal, but to me, it doesn't make sense.
Right. Next up, Yahern Taylor Hearn.
So this was
Are we gonna show the video or no?
the first semi-viral tweet we put out.
So viral.
We're still getting likes on this
Yeah,
video.
I love it. People
Yeah.
are commenting, retweeting it.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome.
So Taylor Hearn getting knocked out by a dude who's not in the NFL.
So
Maybe he should be recruited
Half a
to
size.
play offensive line.
the best part about that video is that I with all the scuffle that was going on, I didn't know scuffle. I didn't know who got knocked out, so I couldn't see because there's so many bodies in the way that I wrote. I'm like, I can't see where he got knocked out, and then people started commenting like, "How come you can't see it?" Like, I don't know. When somebody leaves their feet, usually that's considered a KO. I said, I didn't see him leave his feet. I watched the video like 4 times, and finally I saw it.
So like, or did you see, or did you just pretend like, no?
No,
Yeah,
I saw
totally
him. I saw him
knocked out.
buckle. I was looking at the wrong guy. That's why.
One of the comments actually pointed
Actually, the
out
same thing as
the
you,
funniest thing about that whole video was this dude in the background is watching, and in the minute that Taylor Hearn gets smacked in the face, he falls down. This dude runs. He just starts
bolts.
running. He bolts.
Where?
He just runs. He runs away. It's amazing.
He's like, yo, it's funny, it's crazy. I need some in and out.
I love it. Nice.
Right. I got help. I was
Talk
looking at all
about
the comments.
concussions.
Right. Next up, consecutive weeks.
Consecutive.
A-Rod
I like it. That's-
gets a black
I think
eye.
that's your best title.
That's my best title.
Consecutive weeks. I like it.
Jose Canseco just tried to stir shit with A-Rod for some reason.
And his ex-wife.
His ex-wife was
We
like,
gotta get him
he
on.
was like, I'm not sleeping with A-Rod. Why don't you go talk to your alien friends?
Yes.
So is that the most insulting thing your ex-wife can say to you?
No,
Like, I think I'd rather have her say you have a small penis than go talk to your alien friends.
Yeah, that's
you know what?
it
That's a good
cuts
point.
deep, man. It cuts deep.
Because if she says you have a small dick, you know, it's Jose Canseco. It's not true.
Yeah, no way.
We know the guy's packing some serious.
A-Rod emerged with a black eye, so it does appear that like all the rumors have been debunked. It's not going on, but as someone who is marrying a Latin girl, not surprised he left with a black eye.
So the thing about that picture too, so he has a hoodie. It's a really terrible picture because he's wearing a hoodie, so it looks like he's concealing it, and he's looking down. He looks depressed, and he's not wearing sunglasses. So for a second, when I was looking at that, I was just thinking that he got smacked in the face, and she's like, "And you're not gonna wear sunglasses, and you're not gonna hide it."
It's amazing. I love
Also, A-Rod kind of looking chunk in that picture.
it. Well, he's got a little chunk since he retired for sure.
Yeah, I don't blame
He's a
him.
big boy, man. I never realized how big he was.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Next up, double rapid fire. We're gonna talk about the second group of NFL free agents.
Sure.
So you give us
I'll give
free
it.
agents and we'll react.
Okay, Vontez Burfict, Raiders.
Love
You skipped
it.
one.
Love it.
I like it. I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to fit in on a team trying to sort of rebuild on their image.
Well, he knocked out AB, right? That's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
And AB tweeted today, spoke to
Right.
Pass today, we're good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but
What's gonna happen? So
it's not like guys who hit other guys.
You know how much he's been fined in his career?
I don't.
You know how much?
I do not.
$490,000 he's been fined in his career.
That's just
It's
when he's giving
double the second place guy, almost double, and it's Ndamukong Suh, the second place, almost double.
Well, he's a piece of shit, and I hate him. So I'm really not happy that the Raiders signed him.
Why
At
do you
all.
hate him? What did he do to you?
I don't like him. Whenever I've seen a lot of games of him, and he's really dirty. And he goes out of his way to be dirty. He hits people out of bounds. He hits people on the sideline.
So he fits the Raiders mold.
Not really, man. We're not that. We haven't had a dirty player like that in a long time.
So
talented player.
I always think karma erases all, right? So when Juju knocked him out and stood over him,
it's true.
End of story.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that.
Same thing happened to him. It's good. Did he do it again after? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think he threatened Juju,
maybe
but
he's rehabilitated.
Maybe he's been humbled. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the Dolphins.
So this makes me unhappy because it means they're not going to suck enough to get the first overall pick.
Because he'll fight for like for 6 wins.
Yeah. So like I'm kind of excited because I'm gonna get to watch something more than the 3-yard pass.
They'll beat the Giants, that's for sure.
But look, the thing is, he's not that good. I like him. He's never been the future of a team because this is his 19th team in the NFL.
When he was with the Jets, he looked good. But
for how many games?
For how many games? That's it. That's the thing about Fitz magic is that
so the Dolphins will
the magic goes away. You figure out the card trick after a while.
The Dolphins are once again going to draft in the middle of the draft, and good luck getting a quarterback. Thank you, Stephen Ross. Jerkface.
Randall Cobb, Cowboys.
I love it.
I don't.
I like it. The reason why is because he is a complement to the two guys that they have, and that's all it is.
I have a theory that
I don't think he's as good as Cole Beasley, though.
Nobody who plays for the Packers is any good because Aaron Rodgers can throw a shopping cart open. So essentially what you have is a glorified shopping cart.
But Randall Cobb, it's just the types of routes that he runs. He could be a deep threat, maybe not as much anymore.
Yeah, nobody knows because he has Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball, and it doesn't matter if you're open.
So we'll see. But I think Cole Beasley was a better option.
You know who's not Aaron Rodgers? Dak Prescott.
Absolutely.
Ryan Tannehill, the Titans.
I like it for the Titans.
I like it because Mariota is very very consistent at being injured.
Yeah, he's always questionable.
Yeah, always questionable. There's always a Q next to his name in fantasy, that's for sure.
And
I know this as my backup quarterback in fantasy.
I don't think there's a world of difference between them in talent. I think he'll push him to either be better or they'll have a guy who they can start in his place.
I like Mariota as a quarterback. I really do. It's just he needs to stay healthy.
So I'm a bit torn on this. I'm not sure if the Miami fans are angry or happy that he's gone.
I think because they got a replacement.
Apathetic.
Right.
Yeah.
So in between.
I think it's because he was hated and he got injured a couple times. He took a year off because of his ACL.
And his wife left an AK-15 in the in a rental car.
She's packing.
She's so strange.
I just think that it was kind of like a love-hate relationship with Tannehill because he has the talent.
Yeah.
As the voice of the Miami Dolphins,
he was never
tell
able
you
to put
it's
it
not
on the
love-hate
field.
because we don't care anymore.
That's
We're done.
it, yeah.
Checked out.
Done. Next.
Until Junior Luke signs with the Dolphins.
Why would you need an AR-15 ever? It's an assault rifle.
Yeah, exactly.
Quail hunting?
Yeah.
Quail hunting, okay.
I mean, how are you going to shoot one quail?
Last but not least, Clay Matthews to the Rams.
I like it for the Rams. They just get another sick fucking defensive player.
I mean, at some point, Clay Matthews is going to be old, so this might be the time. But then again, why not take a chance?
Why not take a chance?
I like what the Rams do. They're taking chances on guys other teams seem to be unwilling to do so.
But I think they're just kind of playing Moneyball at this point. It's like we have linebackers.
It's like, who's a player that other teams are paying part of their salary? Him? Got it.
That's it, yeah. So I think the linebackers is kind of like a revolving door in the NFL now. So having more bodies is a lot better because he can cover too.
The last topic, magical mistake. Did Magic Johnson make a mistake trading D'Angelo Russell?
Regret trading him?
No, he had to go. I saw D'Angelo Russell play in college, and I saw him with the Lakers, and I never thought for 1 second Lonzo Ball would be better than him. But what in a locker room, having spent a lot of my life, almost half my life, over half my life in locker rooms, I believe, Skip, the two most important things in a locker room is respect and trust.
Yeah, maybe trust number one.
And he broke that.
Thanks, Skip.
This is what Magic said after they traded D'Angelo Russell. He said, D'Angelo is an excellent player. He has the talent to be an all-star, which he was. We want to thank him for what he did for us. But what I needed was a leader. I needed someone that could also make plays for make other players better, but also somebody players wanted to play with.
You know what this is? This is your you break up with your girlfriend and then you see her looking good, and you're like, oh, maybe did I make a mistake?
Yeah.
But she is only looking good because she left.
So here's the thing. I think that the whole thing with him and Swaggy P is kind of overplayed. So in the NBA, guys are often traded because of affairs, but usually it's because they're having affairs with each other's wives. So I don't think it's that Swaggy P wasn't planned for the Lakers moving on, but they needed to move Russell to get the money to sign LeBron.
And I think that DR in Brooklyn fits. I
Yeah,
think
he's able
to
to
shine.
He needed Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He's like
Brooklyn-
so serious. He's like a lot more
I
serious
love it,
now.
man.
He's like got ice in his veins.
Yeah, when I went to go see the Nets against the Knicks, I think he was injured. He didn't play a lot. He only played a few minutes, but when he was on, like he looked like the D'Angelo Russell we expected him to be. You know.
But then again, how do snitches do in Brooklyn?
Where did he go to college, D'Angelo Russell?
Mon it.
Kentucky? I don't think. Did he go to college?
This stops being
He had to have gone to college at least.
This stops being rapid fire.
And it's very slow water.
Yeah.
He went to Ohio State.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was the 12 seconds Ohio State was competitive. But that does bring us to our bracket challenge.
Yes.
We're very disorganized. We tried to put it together for a month. We put it together today. So we're going to be posting this on our social media. We want people to compete. Send us your brackets and send us videos of when you lose. You'll be drinking hot sauce because when we lose, we will be drinking hot sauce. Although I'm pretty sure Terry will be drinking it right off my nipple because I'm going to crush you with my bracket.
I made 2 brackets already in this other pool that I'm in, and I chose a lot of upsets.
So you're going to lose.
No, I will win because I will get the multipliers. That's how I play. I love the 14th seed. Usually I pick them.
Yeah?
Yeah. 14th against 3? Oh, yeah.
We also need your brackets because you guys aren't getting us scot-free.
No, for sure.
Hot sauce.
For sure. I love it. I love it. I fill out so many of them.
You can eat my ass.
Last night I was watching that play-in game. Sorry, it was Prairie View against FDU.
I understand though because it always seems to be Creighton.
And and I gotta say when I started off watching the game thinking that it kept flip-flopping. You know, I kept going from seeing like, FDU like, oh, they're just so big, they're gonna win this game, and then Prairie View would come back. Like, I think that's what I kind of love about March Madness. It's like the unknown. Mm-hmm. It's really what makes it so amazing.
It's a crazy tournament.
It is the most amazing time of the year where the Western world loses so much productivity from people taking the day off to watch a tournament for a season that they haven't spent any time watching. It's very interesting.
This guy,
yeah, because. Gambling
and because I got fired this week, so it's good.
Yeah,
I'll have a lot of time to watch.
But the good
talk
news
about
is,
research.
Shortly after firing him, we rehired him.
That's it.
Thank you, Terry, for all the work you've done. There's one other segment.
Yeah. Okay,
Truth or Poblano, let's get it done quickly.
Let's go.
All right, boys. The way this works, I ask a question, you tell me if it's true or Poblano.
And because we don't know anything,
it's probably
right.
Poblano.
And what happens to the person who gets the least right?
I will.
Hot sauce.
I'm assuming I'm going to lose. I'll take a shot.
And
post it on the IG, bro.
It should also be mentioned that these are all involving college basketball.
I took the mic off, means I'm ready.
Question number 1. Is this a real coach? Kermit Davis.
Yes.
Kermit Davis absolutely is a real coach.
I know the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was hilarious.
I don't know what he coaches.
Famous head coach too.
I thought it was.
Is this college basketball?
Okay, but from where though? From where?
I'm going to say college basketball.
Okay, but from where?
Where he's at now?
I'm going to say somewhere in the
no
south.
Phones. Put your phone down.
I'm going to say LSU.
Okay, you piece.
He's not at LSU because he's not being investigated.
Stop looking.
Put your phone down.
I don't know where he's at.
Oh, it's true. The LSU coach is being investigated, so no.
Ole Miss Rebels.
Yes, you also get it wrong because
I was right because I was in the south.
Okay, now it's gonna get a little bit more crazy. That one was easy. Number 2, is this a real mascot? Land Shark Tony.
I'm gonna say no.
Land Shark Tony is absolutely real.
Okay, from which I
don't know.
Okay, Old Miss, he's real.
Yes.
Land shark?
Land Shark Tony.
That doesn't. It's not even an
Nothing's
animal.
more fearsome than the goddamn land shark.
That's not even an animal.
Question
It'll
3.
fuck you up.
Is this team in the tournament UC Bovine?
Bovine. UC Irvine is in, so no. I'm gonna say no.
Nope, because the hell with cows.
Yes.
Okay.
UC Irvine.
Exactly.
Very
Poblano,
Asian.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 4.
Straight Poblano right up in there.
Question number 4. Is this mascot real? Gaylord the camel.
Yes, it is real. I know
Gaylord
this
the
one.
camel is
I know
absolutely
this one.
real.
Yeah, it's real.
Okay, but which university?
Mount
Gaylord?
I'm gonna say New Mexico.
Campbell University.
Campbell, where the fuck is that?
They make soup.
Who cares?
Okay. The question number 5. Is this a real player? Jiz Alston Jr.
I hope it is because I'm buying his jersey.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm gonna
agree
say
with Terry.
yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Giz Alston is true.
How do you spell Giz Alston?
Poblano. You guys are wrong. His name is actually Shiz.
Shiz Alston.
Shiz Alston Jr. He was playing last night for Temple.
Okay, cool.
Question number 6. Was the first NCAA tournament in 1959?
No.
Truth.
I'm gonna say Poblano.
In fact, it was 1939.
We're tied.
I still don't know what a poblano is. Go.
It's a pepper.
Question number
Everything
7.
we do is pepper based.
Question number 7. Is this a real player? God Sham God.
I hope it is, because I'm not buying a jersey. I'm gonna say no.
I want to say, is this the last question?
How do you spell God? How do you spell God?
G-O-D.
Oh, okay. So
Last name
wrong.
is Sham God.
No, wrong. No.
So I'm going to say Poblano as well.
Poblano.
In fact, real.
Terrible at
So
this.
God Sham God played for Providence and is right now an assistant coach for the Mavericks.
His name's God. A lot of expectations.
God Sham God. And with 2 M's.
There's no way to live up to expectations.
But is he atheist? Because it's God, but then it's a sham God.
Last but not least, we have our last question.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
We're tied too. So.
This is called fact check. Is this truth or Poblano? Vasectomies in the U.S. go up 50% on average prior to the tournament.
True.
That's a fucking good question.
True, 100%.
50% of vasectomies, is that the guy gets it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Terry.
Because there's the woman, a hysterectomy or whatever?
Yes.
Women wouldn't be getting vasectomies before the
50%
tournament.
of vasectomies go up after the tournament?
Prior to tournament.
Why? I'm gonna say true.
It is in fact true.
Why though?
I'm tied though.
What's the correlation?
So they could get the time off for March
Yes,
Madness.
yes, exactly. They get the time off, and also they're not fucking. They're just watching basketball nonstop.
So I'm pretty sure you can have sex after vasectomy. That's kind of the point.
And you're just shooting blank.
No, I think you actually have to wait before. You don't
No, you just can't get a blowjob on the way home. Everyone knows that.
Who do you, Robert Kraft?
Robert Kraft wouldn't know what to do with this time. I've been Peeze. You've been Terry. This has been Hot Sauce Sports. You've been listening to Hot Sauce Sports.